Hey guys, so you want to start a catering business and you want to do it out of your home? Well, most states will not allow you to do that. But in this video, I will explain to you some ways that you can actually get a catering business up and running, and you can do it from your home. All right, guys, so I want to go over some tips and tricks on how you can actually get a catering business up and running. And you can have a home-based business, but the only difference is you won't be making that food from home. You could use a commercial kitchen to prepare the food and bring it to the event. Now, what I'm going to go over really quick are these 6 steps in the back, but I'm going to tell you that I cannot necessarily break down an entire catering business in just those 6 steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what I have on my board back here, and then from there I'm going to do a series of videos to break these down even further and show you how you could create a catering business from home, but you don't necessarily create the food and make it at home. You can utilize a commercial kitchen to prepare the food. So the legalities and the licensing aspect of a commercial kitchen and a catering business come together and allow you to create the business. So my first tip is to double check your local laws and make sure that doing a food preparation, creating the food under a commercial kitchen, licensed commercial kitchen, is going to be allowed within your state. 99% of the time it is, but you want to just double check with your health department or even your Department of Agriculture, the USDA. There are offices in local areas that within their city and within the state. You can definitely check the state website if you wanted to do that as well. But the health department would be a great place to start and basically explain to them that you want to create a catering business, but the food prep aspect of it is not going to be done in your home. It will be done in a commercially licensed kitchen. Okay, so number 1 out of the 6 steps, and again, keep this in mind, I can't necessarily break it all down into these 6 steps, so I want to get into detail much further about these. And by the way, if you're asking, how would you know, Damien, so much about catering? It seems like you do food products. Well, I owned and operated an Italian bakery and deli, and I handled, we had gelato, we had paninis, fresh breads, cookies and pastries, and we actually did catering for events. So I've actually been there and done that, but we prepared our products and our catering events, we prepared them in our Italian bakery and deli. So I have quite a bit of experience in it, and that's one reason why I want to show you these tips behind me. A lot of my subscribers, actually lately, it's kind of interesting that I've got a lot of questions about catering businesses and starting them from home, but I kind of wanted to clarify some of the legalities, if you will, of doing that. So really quick, here are some 6 things, and this is just 6 things that I feel are super important to start with. But again, as I mentioned before, I'll do a series of videos, and they'll be specifically about catering businesses, and I'll break them down and get into a little more detail, from pricing to presentation to the best way to hire part-time help and to get people to assist you and help you, advertising, marketing, promoting, all that good stuff. Okay, so number 1, the most important thing that I believe that you need to understand is you need to know your clients. Okay, kind of figure out who are the people that will be eating your catering food that you're going to prepare. Okay, now a lot of times you can kind of locally, what I would recommend you do is to start locally within businesses that you already maybe do business with. And what I mean by that is, when we started our Italian bakery, one of the bank that we actually did our business banking with, we actually went to them to let them know what we do. And then I expressed to them that we were getting into catering different events and such. And when literally within a matter of about a month, maybe 2 months, we actually had our first event with that bank. They actually had this bankers meeting, and they allowed us to cater it, and we brought over a whole bunch of sandwich platters. We had a whole bunch of deli sides. We had some of our baked goods and pastries, and even some of our gelato ice cream. So just keep that in mind, that you may want to start locally, figure out who it is that you may want to go to first, and present the idea that you want to offer your products to, okay? When you figure out what your menu might be, that also can dictate, in a lot of cases, the type of tastes and different foods that would appeal to different corporate settings or a wedding or different events of that sort. Number 2, you want to figure out a menu. And again, these are not necessarily in any type of order from importance. These are just 6 things that you definitely want to kind of think about if you're in the very early stages of moving forward and giving the idea or the thought of catering a little more serious thought, okay, if you really want to take that step forward. So a menu. You want to create a menu. Now, this can kind of be something that's very flexible or very rigid. And what I mean by that is you're better off you are if you have a flexible menu. If you have the ability to make really good food that could be some Italian dishes or maybe some Chinese dishes or anything that's barbecue related or any of those different types of food combinations, if you're able to do them and do them really well, plus keep in mind that you have to create them in large batches, if you have the capacity to do that, don't limit yourself by one certain type of food, then you can offer them on a menu. For instance, if you offered Italian food, let's just say, and you had 3 or 4 really good dishes, then 3 or 4 good Italian style dishes with some side dishes, maybe with some different types of breads and some other additional sweets and desserts that would accompany Italian food, but you're really good also at making German food. Maybe there's several dishes that you do really well and they're really unique. Those are also something that you may want to offer. Don't necessarily have to stick to one specific type of food. When we owned the deli and the bakery that we had, and we offered sandwich platters, I wasn't just sticking to one type of a sandwich. We actually did paninis, which are hot pressed sandwiches. We did hoagies. We also did some kind of like, we created several different versions of this, but we did some paninis that had some really unique flavors where it had apples and brie cheeses, things that were a little outside the ordinary, okay? And that's great because it gives your clients an opportunity to see a variety of products to choose from and not get stuck in a rut. And you also might actually get some clients that come to you that are looking for customizable or flavor profiles that they would really prefer that maybe you didn't have on your list. So if you have that flexibility to create that stuff, that would definitely stick to that as well. Commercial kitchen. So obviously preparing food from a cottage food law aspect, from a home in a sense, you normally are not allowed to do food products. It's very limited from food because most of them have to be kept at a certain time temperature or time sensitivity that have to be kept at a certain temperature or at a certain time limit. They're going to expire or become a little less desirable in a sense, and they could be a hazardous food. So preparing that at a home is something that traditionally doesn't happen. With that being said, you can definitely look into getting a commercial kitchen and renting the space to prepare your event, specifically getting the time to set aside a commercial kitchen for that specific event. So let's just say, for instance, you had a bank and they said, look, we would love the opportunity for you guys to have your food products with us. You could utilize that kitchen specifically for that event and then bring it over to that bank or wherever they may be, okay? So there's a way that you can create that catering and start the catering business without necessarily being at home, okay? Part-time or full-time. So you want to also establish for yourself, if you work a full-time job or maybe a part-time job, are you going to get in the catering business part-time or full-time? If you want to do it right off the bat and get into it, I would highly recommend you do it part-time. Build up a local rapport, build up a local reputation. And then from there, take an ease and slowly get from your 9-to-5 job, if that's your goal and you want to do this full-time. I would not necessarily recommend you hop right into it on a full-time basis. When I started my business here, I was working, I can't even begin to tell you how many hours. When we opened up our bakery, I actually got in there with my wife. We had to literally gut out the entire place. We had to bring in the equipment, gelato machines. We had the panini presses, all the sandwich prep tables. Everything was started, but we did it where we worked full-time and we did the business part-time and then transitioned to part-time work and then the deli and the bakery full-time. So I would definitely look into it, and it's really about your comfort zone and where you are the most comfortable doing it. I wouldn't just quit up on Thursday and then start a business. Slowly but surely start to build it up and do research, build up clientele, and have some people that have already experienced your product, okay? Pricing. This is another thing. What you want to do is you will have to research your pricing, and that is actually one particular topic that I want to do a video specifically on. Pricing can be the most challenging thing, but just really briefly, some of the things that you would have to factor into your pricing is going to be the renting of the commercial kitchen. Of course, your payroll is the biggest expense no matter what business you have. How much help are you going to have? And this is something that as you do different catering events, you'll find out how much you need and you'll know from experience and be able to judge. You know what? If you're setting up 100 dishes or 100 people, maybe I need 3 people, 4 people. If I'm doing 1,000 dishes, maybe I need about 10 people. But that is something that you'll have to kind of pick and choose which event and how many people you're going to need as you need it. and you'll learn from each event, and you'll understand how many you really need to make the catering event a success and be effective when you're presenting the food, okay? So the other aspect of the pricing, of course, is the food itself. You have to keep in mind, like I said, with the commercial kitchen time frame, the renting of the kitchen, how much your ingredients are costing, and of course your markup, your margin. What is it that you're looking to make on it, and the amount of time, not only in the commercial kitchen, but amount of time you take, not only creating the food and cooking it, but the time it takes to get it up over to the event too, when you're transporting it. Plus, what are you transporting it in? You may have to rent a large van, or maybe you have a van. That may be something you want to invest in as well. And then once you get to the event, the setting up of the event, and then taking down of the food. So all of this time is going to be something you want to consider when you do your pricing. Like I said, I will explain to you how we did our pricing, and that may give you a better understanding. And lastly, the website. Number 6 is the website. I highly recommend any of our videos that I do here in our shop that I do about our food business, any type of business, you need to have a website, okay? It creates a better understanding, creates a good rapport for the individual customer to see information on your website, and builds up a relationship with them so they can understand more before they even get to contact you directly, that they know they can see the variety of stuff. They see your menu, they see kind of a price point, they see that you're flexible and that you can create something more customizable for their event. But the website gives them also an opportunity to really just see the background of your business and to see what you can and can't do, okay? I would recommend, if you are doing the website yourself, I have a couple videos up right now about how I created my websites. I have 6 of them. One of the websites that I created, I utilized Weebly, Weebly.com. And really quick, this video in particular, I won't do any Weebly website how-tos, but I've got a series of them coming out that I've already started, and there's actually a couple already posted here on my channel. But utilizing a build-it-yourself website is ultra inexpensive, it's cost-effective, and it's super easy, guys. You don't have to know coding, you don't have to create some website from out of the blue. It makes it really easy. But having that website, again, is going to be better for your business, and it's going to give you a reputation and look more professional as well. So out of the tons of things that I will go over for catering, these 6 things are super important. And again, they're not listed by any means. They're not listed by the most important down to the least. All of them are equally important, but they're just different aspects that you might want to think about. If you're at home and you're like, you know what, I want to get in the business of catering events. That sounds great, but I'm at my home. How can I do that? Commercial kitchen, commercial kitchen, commercial kitchen. So keep that in mind. If you guys have any more questions about catering or starting a catering business, keep a note that I will have a handful of new videos coming out. I will go in depth a little bit more about these 6 items and a few more other things, because there's a lot more to it than just those 6 things. And as always, if my videos help you out, do give me a big old thumbs up. And if you have any family members or friends, by the way, who could benefit from my channel, as always, too, I thank you for sharing my information with them, and I'll see you on the next video.